Today's story isn't about policy differences or boring diplomacy. It's NATO on the brink, economic warfare with Europe, and Trump threatening military or economic force over something most people thought was just an icy island. This is the Greenland crisis of 2026, and it's heating up faster than Arctic ice melt. Here's what has just exploded across every major news wire. Trump is threatening tariffs on 8 European nations, including Denmark, Germany, France, Norway, Sweden, Finland, the Netherlands, and the UK, unless they agree to hand over Greenland to the United States. Reuters.com+1. Let's break that down. This isn't a casual negotiation. The U.S. president has publicly warned that he will impose a 10% import tariff on those countries starting next month over their opposition to U.S. control of Greenland. Reuters.com. European leaders have called it economic blackmail and completely wrong, warning that a trade war is in no one's interest. Britain's Prime Minister urged caution and pragmatism. AP News. But that's just the surface. A U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent virtually confirmed on NBC that Trump's effort is about American strategic dominance, citing fears of European weakness and an effort to counter Russia and China's influence in the Arctic. This isn't some fringe comment. It was on a major U.S. broadcaster. Reuters.com. Now imagine how that sits with NATO allies. A GOP congressman warned bluntly that a U.S. invasion of Greenland would mean war with NATO itself, because Denmark, Greenland sovereign, is a NATO ally. ABC News. That's not speculation. That's an elected U.S. official saying an invasion could trigger alliance conflict. But that's not all. Trump just sent a provocative letter to Norway's prime minister claiming that his frustration over not receiving the Nobel Peace Prize justified his aggressive stance, and linking that snub to renewed efforts to take Greenland. The Guardian. Let that sink in. International aggression partially rationalized as a response to not winning a peace prize. This story has escalated beyond a quirky idea of buying an island. But why Greenland? Let's unpack the deep geopolitics behind this. United States 1. Strategic military importance. Greenland sits smack in the Arctic, right between North America, Russia, and Europe. The U.S. already maintains a military installation there, Pituffik Space Base, the former Thule Air Base, that supports missile early warning and surveillance systems critical to U.S. defense. NBC New York. Trump argues, publicly, that controlling Greenland outright will provide unmatched defense leverage, especially with NATO standing. NBC Chicago. 2. A missile defense megaproject. Golden Dome. The White House claims a controversial Golden Dome missile defense system, Trump's proposed high-altitude defense network, requires U.S. control of Greenland to be fully effective. NBC Chicago. If that's true, the stakes are enormous. NATO without Greenland could become hollowed out, according to U.S. rhetoric. 3. Natural resources and minerals. Greenland isn't just ice. It has rich deposits of rare earth minerals, oil, and strategic metals that could shift global industrial leverage, especially in tech and defense supply chains. The Times of India. Rare earths are essential for advanced tech, renewable energy, and military systems, making this far more than a land swap. Warning sign #4. Climate change and new Arctic shipping routes. Because the Arctic ice is melting, new commercial shipping passages, trade routes, and military access corridors are opening. Greenland sits at the gateway of some of these. The Times of India. Controlling Greenland could allow the U.S. to influence shipping between Asia, North America, and Europe. But here's the twist nobody once talked about. Greenland is not for sale. Period. Officials in Greenland, including leaders and ministers, have repeatedly said any attempt to buy or seize the island is offensive, undermines democracy, and violates international law. ABC. That's not just political PR. That's a foundational principle of their national identity. Denmark, too, has said Greenland will never be sold and would resist any attempt to transfer sovereignty. Reuters.com. And the people of Greenland? A majority want independence from Denmark, but not to be bought by another global power. ABC. Flashback. Trump famously floated buying Greenland back in 2019, and Denmark responded forcefully that the island was not for sale. Now, 6 years later, what was dismissed as a curiosity has spiraled into an outright international crisis. The real danger. This isn't a normal foreign policy spat. It is a battle between major global alliances over sovereignty, resources, and strategic military leverage. If NATO fractures over Greenland, or if tariffs escalate into a full trade war between the US and Europe, the world could be set on a collision course far beyond Arctic ice. And remember this. Pushpin a US invasion of a NATO ally's territory could, as one senior lawmaker said, potentially trigger World War III-style tensions. ABC News. That's not hyperbole. It's a reality of modern alliances. Don't forget to stay updated with all the latest trends on Google Trends, so you never miss out on what's trending right now. And please, make sure to subscribe to our channel. It's the best way to stay connected with us for more exciting updates and breaking stories. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next trending update.